Hey everyone, Sula here from MistyHilltops.com. Thanks for stopping by. In this video, I'm working on my next page for my document Christmas 2023. And as you can see, I already started with some stitching because I would do that off camera anyway. So now I am ready to start putting things down. I am, for this page, once again, using the digital version of a product from Carta Happy Christmas. And like I said, it's the digital version of it. So I decided to leave this out in the open because I just like when it has something. I'll try to actually glue it down. I pulled in the stitching here, but here there was a little mess there. But again, I don't even mind because I wanted a little bit of messiness there. So I have this little doily. It's a die cut piece that I used with some of my red paper there. And I'm not sure, I really hope that not all my stitching will be fully covered up in the end. I do want this to somewhat go behind there. So I am starting with just laying out my papers so that I would know where to place everything. And so before I start gluing things down with this page. So this is for November 28th. And I think this is how I want it. The photo. So just making sure that everything. So this one can go a little higher, and I think this is about how I had envisioned it. I do create my pages in Silhouette Studio without all the embellishments and stuff, and then I start putting them together. So I use Silhouette Studio so that I can print my papers, and it prints in the size, in actual size, without me having to do much of anything. So here I'm just gonna put some glue around the edge of the doily without going into every part of the doily, and I don't want to mess up my desk too much with glue, making it sticky all around. So I'm gonna pull this pine branch out, and again I want to have this somewhat tucked. Still I want it to be a little visible, maybe like so. And you see I use liquid glue because I find this works well. And I have this laid out, so obviously now I notice I have it a lot higher on my page than I have it in Silhouette, but I don't think that it actually matters. So yep, this is about where I want that branch. And I'm just putting a bit of glue. I don't mind if it pops off the page a little bit. So I'm not putting glue everywhere, just enough so that it sticks down to the page and won't come off too quickly. I mean, it's going to be tucked behind, and so that means that it's going to be stuck well there. I'm not worried that it might come off the page because it's going to be tucked behind papers. So here I'm paying attention that it doesn't go beyond the page, especially, no, this is the left side of it, so it doesn't matter. It could come off this way. Nothing can go off this way because this is where the binding will be, so I always have to be mindful of that. And I think now I am ready to add the next layers. Yes, I don't think anything needs to be tucked behind anywhere anymore. So the next layer would be this floral pattern here. And if you look closely, you will see that all the edges of my papers are distressed. I don't use ink to distress them. I like to just run a card around the edges just to give it a little bit of dimension. So this one goes at the bottom there, and I'm paying attention here to the stitching and also to the sides, but I'm okay if things go a little more this way. I think in the original, I'm pretty sure I had it, and let me just check because I do have planned to put some embellishments. Yeah, but there is enough space there for me to put it there. So then after this, it's time to take this green paper here and add that one to the layers, and then okay, it's already getting stuck, which I like. So here I was trying to still push it down a little, and then basically put that flag. But I do have this little tab here. Now the question is, do I want this to go all the way or still for the green? I think I like it if the green is seen. So what I will do is I will put some glue here, and then on the back side, because that's going to be, and then I'll just stick it down together, and that should make it stick either way. So just push it down a little. I didn't put much glue. I think I want more glue here, actually going all the way to this part there. Okay. Now I also have this little, it's a thicker kind of, it's twine that I want to place behind the photo somewhere. So, but I think it can go in front of this paper flag. So I will still glue this paper flag down. It's always paying attention to which layers come first. And then I want there to be the green paper to be visible here, but also there. And now I have to decide where I want the twine to be. And I think I'm not really actually going to put any glue on the twine itself. I'm just going to use the photo to get the twine to stick to the page, and then I'm going to try and see if I can add a little bow there, or at least tie it. But first I want to really make sure it's tucked well behind. So I'm actually making sure that this time I put a little more glue on my photo. Usually I don't care too much to add too much glue, but here there's a lot that this photo needs to basically hold on to. And I'm going to see if I can, or I think I'll wait until it's actually really dry. And now the embellishment embellishment part can start. I'm going to pull in all my embellishments here, and I have this little house, which was a layered stamp. It didn't turn out too great, but I don't care as much anymore for perfection. I used to be a lot more caring about that. Here, the 28 is not really visible, but there are, on every page we'll basically get a date, so I'm okay if sometimes things are not as visible. Here on this picture is last year's December daily. I put it out on my shelf or sideboard where you can see. Now I'm trying to decide where I want to put things without covering up too much, but I'm not a big fan of spaces like that. So I was thinking of putting that title here. I'm not quite sure about that either, because I really like this pattern paper and I wouldn't like for it to be all covered up. So I am thinking of creating this cluster here. So I'm ready to glue this one down, and there's a lot of white here, nothing happening on the photo, so I don't mind using that space to cover it up, really. And then, yep. And then I have this little die cut flower that I just gave a little bit of shape. And then I had from a different set. So you see I'm actually covering this up, the number up almost, but that's okay. So now before I put down the flower, obviously I have to remember that the leaf goes underneath. And so for once I am actually aware, and don't forget that there are things to go underneath, so that leaf will go there, and then the flower. Okay, so I want let's put the leaf a little more. Don't want so much of the leaf to be visible from underneath the flower, but I also want the number there still to be visible. So I think that's all right. Then I have this, this is actually washi tape, and I have little button die cut pieces. And I just put the washi tape on cardstock and then cut it out and created a little button that way, and I think it turned out pretty cute. And so here, this one will go there, and again I can put glue a little more generously because it will once again hold on to the string and cause the string. And I'm also paying attention that it's not just flush with the line of this photo there, because I don't think that would look good. And so now I have to decide what to do with this bell. I guess if I put it at an angle, then you can still see that bit there. And avoid the white space or that open space there in between. Okay, so Now let me see where I want to put. I'm also considering of just creating another little cluster here. This is also just, I stamped this and then used a die to cut it out. So now I have to think whether I want the button. Originally, I think I thought to put the button here, but I could also put the button with the stitching there. I want the stitches there to be a little bit visible, so I'm thinking, no, that is kind of weird. Or to really leave that and then create a cluster down here. So I'm still thinking things through. And I guess I could, I don't have one right now, but I guess I could add a little star there. I also have this cute little washi tape that I got a couple of years ago. Never actually used yet on a project, but I'm thinking, what about putting it behind the title here? So it's a Santa's belt, basically. And personally, not a big fan of Santa. I grew up without Santa being any meaningful part of my life, so let's see. I think this one would look better, not to have it between those two, the buckles. So I'm gonna commit and then decide what to do with the circles. So I'm gonna cover up this buckle right there. And I might, after off camera, create another little flower like that and add it here just to create more of an interest there. And now, no, these are not the word strips I want to use for this side. So let me see what I can do about tying things up here without actually pulling everything from underneath. Okay. From behind the photo there. And I am okay with things floating around a little there. That's okay with me. So here I have my word strips. And I guess I could start here. I still haven't glued down these little bits. And I'm thinking of adding, yep, I think this is where things will go. I can still cut off. These are word strips that I create myself. No, I think that works. So I am going to work here to glue this circle right about here, and then I'm going to add my word strips. One goes. As you can see, I try to avoid spaces between two different elements. It's a design principle that these empty spaces should be avoided. And I don't know if you can see, but even this bell is a glitter paper, but that glitter is much more subtle than the glitter from the washi tape of this button. Now let me see. I could always create yet another button. No, I think I like it if I put that button right here. And it's just paper, so I'm just going to glue it down right next to the other piece of paper. So, oh, I didn't glue these bits down, but I'm getting close to finishing off this page for November 28th. And obviously you can check out this channel to find my previous pages. I basically start on November after Thanksgiving with my document Christmas albums. And there are also videos of albums that I've created in previous years. If you are interested, just go and check out the playlist December Daily. I'm going to leave you with some more close-ups. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Consider subscribing, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.